real economy of this country at this moment. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, if we have to develop our country and grow jobs, we have to invest in capital investment. And therefore, I want to make a proposal to this government. I hope they will take it. That to be able to increase capital investment, we may have to introduce what we call the golden rule. The golden rule, as it pertains in Britain, that we will not borrow to consume anymore. We will not borrow for consumption. We will borrow to invest in capital investment so that we can generate growth to support job creation in the country. Mr. Speaker, this budget offers big promises, but the numbers behind the promises simply do not add up. Let's come to numbers with regards to revenue performance. Mr. Speaker, the 2025 revenue performance up to September 2025 shows that the system is struggling. The budget reports that by end September 2025, revenue and grants amounted to 154.9 billion Ghana cedis. This is equal to 11.1% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, but the full year target is 226 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to 16% of GDP. So to hit this full year target, Mr. Speaker, Q4 alone must deliver 71 billion Ghana cedis, nearly 5% of GDP in one quarter. But let me break it down further, Mr. Speaker. Q1 will have to generate 32% of the entire year's revenue. Q4 will need to be 40% bigger than the average quarter so far. We must ask, what policy, what compliance breakthrough, what structural shift, or even what miracle can support such an extraordinary fourth quarter performance when you have not performed in the first 3 quarters of the year? Mr. Speaker, none, no explanation has been provided. This is not proper forecasting. This is wishful arithmetic. Mr. Speaker, the revenue measures in the 2026 budget itself are unrealistic and untested. Government wants Ghanaians to believe that they can raise 1.6 billion Ghana cedis from VAT compliance, 1.2 billion Ghana cedis from small taxpayers reforms, 1.68 billion Ghana cedis from removing 347 exemptions, 747 million Ghana cedis from corporate income tax, and recover 5.3 billion Ghana cedis while reorganizing levies and the VAT, what they call the VAT reforms. But, Mr. Speaker, these measures depend almost entirely on behavior change, administrative strength, GRA enforcement capacity, customs discipline, a taxpayer base still recovering from economic stress. But 2025 had these similar measures, and 2025 showed that the measures underperformed. If compliance gains could ensure that we address the revenue shortfall, it would have done it for us. Mr. Speaker, if removing import exemptions could have raised revenue, it would have done it for us this year. Unfortunately, these measures failed. And this is why I am confident that the revenue measures in the 2026 budget are unrealistic. When we come to growth forecast, Mr. Speaker, it breaks the internal logic of this budget. This is the most revealing contradiction of all that I have seen. The economy, as they said, grew 6.3% in the first half of 2025, above our estimated potential for 5 consecutive quarters. But, Mr. Speaker, under normal forecasting logic, strong first-year half-year growth should lead to strong full-year growth. If you have a strong growth in the first half year, it should lead to stronger full-year growth. Mr. Speaker, and strong full-year growth should lead to growth momentum in the next year, in the following year. But what do we see? 2025 growth, according to them, the 2025 will end with 4.8%, and 2026 growth projected to be 4.8%. Where is the momentum? Where is the momentum? The mass does not match the message, Mr. Speaker, because what it means is that the minister is telling us that the economy is surging today, but the budget expects the economy to suddenly lose momentum next year. At the same time, they are telling Ghanaians that this budget has introduced transformational policies. Where are those transformational policies? And your growth is anemic for next year, 4.8, the same as this year. This is not economic management, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you cannot, NDC, you cannot
Honourable Member, conclude.
You cannot claim that the economy is recovering strongly. You are rolling out growth measures. Revenue will surge, and yet growth will fall from 6.3% to 4.8%. There is no macroeconomic logic that supports this. Either the growth number, Mr. Speaker, is understated to soften expectation, or there are serious risks the government is not disclosing. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, let me say that this 2026 budget is not realistic. It cannot provide growth, it cannot provide jobs. Revenue has not been properly pursued. Mr. Speaker, compliance has not been achieved. Growth cannot be justified. Social spending has increased.
Honourable Member, your time is up. Honourable Members, order. Honourable Members, I will proceed to give the floor to Honourable Cletus Seydou Dapila. You have 15 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity given to me to comment on the budget statement presented to this House by the Finance Minister, the Honourable Kessel Atoba-Forson. Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised the former Finance Minister is talking the way he's talking, because the former head of the economic management team, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has already apologized to Ghanaians for the mess that they've caused this country. So I think if the chairman of the economic management team if he apologized to Ghanaians for the 8 years mess, I'm surprised that he is talking the way he's talking. Mr. Speaker, let me also avert the minds of my colleagues to global info analytic polls that they conducted on this budget. This budget has 82% rating approval from Ghanaians. Ghanaians applauded this budget, and they are so happy with the budget. So let's stop the politics and support this fiscal prudence that the current finance minister and his team is embarking on. Mr. Speaker, let me also remind the former finance minister that one of the bad policies that they took was to cap all our statutory funds, thereby staffing Get Fund of resources, staffing District Assembly Common Funds, staffing NHIA of funds. Mr. Speaker, today, under this government, all these statutory funds have been uncapped, particularly District Assembly Common Fund. Mr. Speaker, District Assembly Common Fund under Atoba-Forson and President Mahama is performing wonders. 80% of common fund is being sent to the district assemblies. Mr. Speaker, if you want to develop this country, it is not for anything that the local government concept was created. Mr. Speaker, it was created to send development to the doorsteps of the people. And you came in 2017, and one of the bad decisions you took with your 169 was to cap this fund, thereby starving the local assemblies of development. Mr. Speaker, today, 80% of resources or money is sent to the assemblies for development. Mr. Speaker, today, when you go to the assemblies, you will see them, all the workers, the staff of assemblies across this country are smiling because they are working. They are happy that they have resources now to work. Mr. Speaker, let me also say that if you go to NHIA, Mr. Speaker, under your watch, every other day, you have service providers who were laying down their tools. They said they won't provide services because you couldn't pay service providers. Mr. Speaker, since we came, the whole of 2025 is a thing of the past. you won't hear any service provider saying that he was going on strike. They won't provide services to our people because finance is releasing resources or monies to NHIA, and they are also paying the service providers. Mr. Speaker, this is one of the achievements of this government. Mr. Speaker, let me also avert the mind of the former finance minister and my colleagues on the other side that from 2023, Get Fund, you could only do 1.8 billion because you capped the fund. 2024, you did 2.3 billion. 2025, when we came, we did 3.2 billion, and in 2026, we are doing 9.9 billion.
I beg of them to take time and read the tables. Let me take them to Appendix 2A. Appendix 2A. Mr. Speaker, I ask them to please take their budgets and read with me Appendix 2A. Half year when we came to this chamber, we warned our colleagues on the government bench that the revenue measures you have put in place, contrary to your thinking that it will raise more revenue so that you can meet your expenditure commitments, it will not meet the targets. Mr. Speaker, half year when we came here, revenue was underperforming by 3 billion Ghana cedis. In fact, if you read the all of government reports published by the Controller and Accountant General, contrary to their claim that we didn't leave them buffers, the balance brought forward from 2024 is 11 billion Ghana cedis. If you add that to the 3 billion, their revenue shortfall at half year was 14 billion. Mr. Speaker, as at now, the revenue shortfall is 8 billion. If you look at the numbers, 8 billion. And if you add that 11 billion to it, that is 19 billion. Mr. Speaker, if Hansard and our colleagues who are here will be truthful to themselves, mid-year, we told them here that by the end of the year, they will have to cut expenditure by 30 billion because their revenue is not performing. Today, when you look at the tables, you have cut expenditure by 28 billion. Then you cut 30 billion because revenue is not performing. Why is that important? Because, Mr. Speaker, all the promises that you make, if you are not able to mobilize the revenue, you cannot fulfill it. If you go into the tables and you find the numbers that were promised us, the team from finance told us that they were going to remove taxes and they won't bring new taxes. And that after they have implemented this new fiscal strategy, they will get more revenue. Remember, the finance minister told us that he was going to move tax to GDP ratio, in fact, revenue to GDP ratio, from 13% to 18%. I'm sure we all remember. Mr. Speaker, when we were leaving power, revenue as a percentage of GDP was 16%. After they implemented their strategy, revenue is now underperforming. It's now at 11% of GDP. Colleagues, if you haven't taken time to look at the tables, you have lost 5% of GDP on revenue. You think there's more money? 5% of GDP, that is 5% of 1 trillion, is 50 billion Ghana cedis. If you don't understand it, please let me explain some more. What boka 50 billion? And that is why you have had to cut your expenses. And Mr. Speaker, the expenses they have cut, it's not just numbers. The 28 billion they have cut is not numbers. They are teachers who were waiting to be recruited. And because this government has played politics with the revenue strategy, they are at home. They are nurses who were waiting to be recruited. Because you have played politics with the revenue strategy, they are sitting at home. They are contractors who are waiting to be paid. And because you have been doing politics with the revenue strategy, they have not been paid. Mr. Speaker, they are the flagship programs that young Ghanaians are waiting for this government to fund. And because they've been doing politics with it, they cannot fund even their own flagship programs. So, Mr. Speaker, when we are drawing their attention to the fact that their revenue strategy is not performing, they can dance and sing as much as they want in the chamber. The results out there will show them. Mr. Speaker, 2025, they promised to spend 51 million Ghana cedis on the Women's Bank. They did not spend it. Then this year, without providing any report on it, they announced that they've increased the budget to 400 million and that it is a credible budget. Does that sound like credibility to you? 2025, you promised 1.5 billion to the agri sector to improve agriculture. You haven't done much. In fact, it took 1 day to the budget
before they launched in Nkokon Kitinkiti. Zero work done. And then now you come and promise 2 billion cedis for agric, and you say it is a credible budget. Does that sound credible to you? You promised 300 million for apprenticeship program. Where are the apprentices? What work are they doing? Nothing happens, and then you come back and promise another 170 million. Does that sound like credibility? So, colleagues, in all humility, if you stop dancing in the chamber and pay attention to the numbers, you realize that you have a big problem. In fact, we all have a big problem that we have to fix. When you say this, then they say, oh, the cedi has appreciated by 30%. Inflation is down. Monetary policy rate is down. And so by Papa. Mr. Speaker, let me take my time to draw the attention once again to a few more things. In the beginning, we told them that, colleagues, this currency that has appreciated by 30% is a matter of fact, but it is because you are pumping dollars into the economy. You will recall, Mr. Speaker, that when we said it, the governor of the central bank told us on the 30th of April 2025, and I quote, "The Bank of Ghana is not injecting dollars to support the cedi stability." This is a matter of record. We kept insisting that they were pumping. So when the Bishops' Conference visited the president at Jubilee House, they inquired of him that, Mr. President, the minority say that you are pumping and that the fundamentals haven't changed. Mr. President told them that no, it's not true, and that it is effective leadership that was leading to the gains of the cedi. We kept reading the summary of economic and financial data and telling them that, colleagues, you are pumping. It took the IMF to draw their attention and ask them to stop, and then the depreciation resumed. When it resumed, by the 10th of September, when the president held the press conference, the media asked him that, Mr. President, it has started depreciating again. That was when the president admitted and said the Bank of Ghana had been intervening, and it is when they stopped that the depreciation has resumed. Mr. Speaker, the IMF has instructed the central bank, and I can say on authority, that henceforth, every month before they pump, they should announce. And that is why on the 5th of October, the Bank of Ghana announced that they were going to pump 1.15, and on the 3rd of November, they announced that they were going to pump another 1 billion. Mr. Speaker, from January till now, the Bank of Ghana has pumped not less than 8 billion cedis to shore up, $8 billion, I beg your pardon, to shore up the currency. Ghana's import bill so far is about $14 billion. So the normal supply of dollar in the economy will give us problems. It is this pumping that is holding us up. Mr. Speaker, what we should do is to take advantage of the windfall forex that we are getting from the gold purchase program and fix the structural issues. Else you can dance as much as you want in the chamber. If we are hit by one challenge, we will be in trouble. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to inflation, if you don't tackle the supply side issues, and all that you are doing is that you are sterilizing, the consequence, Mr. Speaker, will be that you will claim inflation has come down, but the lived experience of people out there will be that the prices of the average goods and services they are buying is going up. Mr. Speaker, if you say that the monetary policy rate of the central bank has come down, so interest rates are solid, I beg of you to check the average lending rate and the stock of credit to private sector. You will find that it hasn't reflected. So we have serious issues to deal with. We should not reduce it to name calling and dancing and singing. Else, one major shock, we'll be back to where we are. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me focus my attention on the real sector. Agric, you promised 1.5 billion investment into two major things, Feed Ghana and Nkokon Kitinkiti. Nkokon Kitinkiti, you launched it one day before you came to read the second of your 4 budgets. So how much investment has gone into it? Zero. Feed Ghana, how much has gone into it? Where are the farmers who are supposedly benefiting from it for it to lead to an improvement in agriculture? So real sector investment, growth and jobs is not happening. Industry, you inherited a 24-hour economy program. You said it was a bad program. In fact, you inherited a 1D, 1F program. I beg your pardon. You said it was a bad program and that you are replacing it with a 24-hour economy program. No problem.
So
When
should I ask that you inherited 24-hour economy should be expunged from the record?
No, they inherited a 1D, 1F program. And then they said it wasn't good for purpose, and so they were replacing it with a 24-hour economy program. Mr. Speaker, the National Development Planning Commission of the Republic of Ghana has reported that the 1B1F program left 150 factories that were functioning. That is 18 factories a year. So in 2025, when you suspended the 1B1F program, the opportunity cost is 18 factories that could have created jobs for young people. You said 24-hour economy program. Where are the factories? How many jobs? You ended up even by telling us that in 2026, we should not expect a program and a budget. Now you say you are going to give us 110 million for the 24-hour economy factory. You have no program to create industrial jobs. Mr. Speaker, in the budget, they say they are going to create 800,000 jobs. And I saw my brother John Dumelo dancing at the back there that Ato is forcing because he's announced 800,000 jobs. They forgot that the next paragraph says that 490,000 of those jobs are laborers. Paragraph 501, please listen. Mr. Speaker, 63 billion Ghana cedis worth of road contracts awarded so far under the big push, and it will generate 490,000 jobs. So your 800,000 jobs that you are announcing in your own budget, almost 500,000 of them are going to be manual labor on road projects. I was in Cape Coast University 2 days ago. The students who are about to graduate, those in the technical universities, you don't have plans for them. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by reminding our colleagues that if this budget really intends to create growth and jobs, they need to be investing in the job-creating initiatives. You can make all the noise that you want. If your revenue doesn't perform, you won't get the money to invest in it. If your revenue doesn't perform and you don't invest it in the things that will create jobs, the young people will come for you at the end of the day. You say you don't have fiscal space. You are doing fiscal discipline. So I was shocked to hear you say that now you have space to buy a new executive jet. Two, actually. You don't have fiscal space. You don't have fiscal space to finish paying the contractors on outstanding projects. But you have fiscal space to buy 2 executive jets. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to conclude by reminding our colleagues, your revenue strategy is not performing. You don't have resources to expend. You are pumping because gold prices is at $4,000. It may not be there forever. You have 2 more budgets to go. I beg of you, spend it doing the real structural issues, not dancing over temporary results. Else, we'll be back here some other time. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honorable Adongo.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague, Mr. Speaker, my colleague cited me.
Honorable members, let me sign this signal. When you are debating, avoid mentioning somebody's name. By the rules, once you mention the person's name, when he's up, I would give the person the floor. Honorable Adongo, you have the floor.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, my colleague attributed falsehood to me. He attributed falsehood to me. When I stood up yesterday, I said the rate of debt accumulation went into negative territory in many years. In many years. 2021 to 2025 is 14 years. That is in many years. I did not say that it has never gone into negative territory. That is one. 2, Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. There is no instruction. Mr. Speaker, this is the House of Record.
Honorable Majority Chief Whip, please, I recognize Honorable Adongo. Honorable Adongo, kindly conclude.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. Ghana is under an official IMF program. And there are benchmarks and there are prior actions. There is nowhere in the IMF program where there has been an instruction to Ghana not to intermediate in our market. And that there is no letter. There is no official... Master, this is a House of Records. This is a House of Records. The IMF has not asked the government of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance or the Bank of Ghana to make any announcement in managing its foreign currency. Therefore, the honorable colleague, is not supported by the facts, and this is a House of Records. I therefore request that, Mr. Speaker, that should be expunged from the records, because the IMF program is an official record, it's an official program, and there is no instruction to the government of Ghana not to manage its foreign currency. And nobody should be allowed to put into the official records that Ghana has been asked to report to the public when it wants to manage its foreign currency. Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Honourable members, we can make our submission without mentioning a member's name. The rules are very clear. Honourable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, your name has not been mentioned, so I will not give you the floor. I proceed to recognize Honourable Alfred Ni Kote. You have the floor. Honourable Alfred Ni Kote, you have the floor. Well, I will also... Honourable members, order. Yes, Honourable Jerry Ahmed.
Speaker, with all due deference to you, we understand that names are not to be mentioned when we are having debates. Yesterday, my respected colleague, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah's name was mentioned. He actually stood up trying to catch your attention, which I believe he caught your attention, Speaker. But, Speaker, he was ignored.
Then he didn't catch my eye.
Speaker, Speaker, that's for your attention.
Then I'll proceed to mention Honorable Alikplim Akurugu. You have 5 minutes. Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, the order of names that we submitted, the next speaker, the next person to comment at this stage should be Gakwe, in the order that we presented to you.
With all due respect, I have the list here. The first on the list is Honorable Fred Agbanyo. Second on the list is Honorable Cletus Sedu Dapila. Third on the list is Honorable Alfred Ni Kote. Fourth on the list is Honorable Alikplim Akurugu. That is the list I have before me.
Mr. Speaker, that's
so
fine.
From which
Mr.
list
Speaker,
are you speaking?
That's fine. So, Alikplim, please speak.
This is what I have. I don't have any new list. Honorable Alikplim Akurugu, you have the floor. Honorable Alikplim Akurugu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the debate on the 2026 budget statement and economic policy of the government delivered by the Honorable Minister, Dr. Atuforsen. Mr. Speaker, the agricultural sector remains the backbone of the economy and our lifeline for many million Ghanaian households. As the Minister rightly said, the agricultural sector has recorded.
Honorable Majority Chief Whip, you have no right to ask the member to stop talking.
Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect.
But you cannot ask the member to stop talking.
Mr. Speaker, we are supposed
you
to
can
have
draw
you
my attention to something, but you cannot ask the member to stop talking.
If the member is speaking and they are making noise, I have every right to draw your attention to it. Mr. Speaker, to tell me that I have no right, it's also not regular.
Order.
Please listen to her in silence.
Honourable members, order.
Why?
Honourable members, order. Honourable Akurugu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the Minister rightly stated, the agricultural sector has seen a 6% growth, doubling that of last year. The progress is commendable and reflects the resilience of our farmers and growing impact of target interventions. Mr. Speaker, I was surprised to hear or listen to our former Minister for Finance. I don't know what he was saying, but Mr. Speaker, under his watch, the agricultural sector saw an emergency responses, whilst the current budget, which our Honourable Minister Atuforsen recorded, is being managed and structural reforms are being formed. The former government acted on emergency relief of 500 million to ease drought and food security, whilst Dr. Atuforsen is giving us a driving and a long-term structural reforms for agro growth. Mr. Speaker,
as your name be mentioned,
under the watch of our former minister, he focused on short-term
Honourable
fixes,
Amim,
credit
I'm avoiding
assets,
interruptions. So
exports,
if after her debate
bans,
you want the floor,
basic
I'll give you the floor.
climate actions.
Just like what I did for Adongo.
And under our current finance minister, we are seeing pursuing comprehensive long-term reforms through broader financing, value chain development, climate-driven industrialization, and major infrastructure investment. Mr. Speaker, the 2024 budget under the former minister was appropriate for purposes stabilizing food security system during national emergency. Mr. Speaker, it was under his watch when we noticed that donkeys, fertilizers meant for farmers, were being exported and the monies used to buy lands for themselves. Mr. Speaker, under the watch of Honourable Atuforsen, he is bringing bold, systematic, investment-driven, and transformational to the economy. It addresses the root causes of agriculture underperformance, builds sustainable value chains, and positions agriculture as a modern economic engine. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 budget deserves commendation for shifting agriculture from survival competitiveness and from crisis management to national development. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. I'm grateful.
Yes, Honorable Amin Adams. Next on the list is Honorable Kobina Ochre Daku Mensah. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I do believe that, first and foremost, our side have already delivered on the budget and actually punched the necessary holes in the budget. Mr. Speaker, hello? Mr. Speaker, what's he doing here? Mr. Speaker, the mic is not working.
Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Come and do it.
Hello, Mr. Speaker.
Do it.
Hello, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I will basically be looking at the budget from the inability of the Finance Ministry and the government to raise the necessary revenues. Hello? Yeah. Mr. Speaker, the only way you can fix the economy of this country is the ability of government to raise revenues. And we know that for the budgeted amount of 162 billion, only 154 was raised, clearly showing that this government have been very lazy in raising the necessary revenues to spend on the good people of this country. Mr. Speaker, you will also realize that this government, under the 2025 budget, came to this House to tell us that they were removing what we call hello?
Honorable, continue.
Unfortunately, they introduced so many taxes, more than 10 of them. They increased the growth and sustainability levy by 300%, from 1% to 3%. They also extended the sunset clause, sending it from 2025 to 2028. Mr. Speaker, electricity tariffs have also been increased in this country almost to 19%, whilst water prices have also increased by 4%. Mr. Speaker, you would also realize that when it even comes to government taxes and charges, government charges and fees, they've increased that between 30 to 40% in this country. And therefore, when the government says that inflation is reducing, you realize that on the market, the story is entirely different. So whilst people are trying to praise this budget, I want to say that what they are doing in 2025 have shown all Ghanaians that nothing is really happening. Recently, the Minister for Finance himself had done some few rounds and had gone to Takrady, and he has stated it clearly in the budget, paragraph 1192. Mr. Speaker, after his rounds, he had done his own radio presentations, and I would like to quote what had come from City. Mr. Speaker, whilst he was trying to tout himself, the people of Takrady in particular, this is what he said, and I quote, "Some listeners from Takrady questioned the accuracy of the market price claims made during the minister's recent tour of Takrady." So clearly, if the minister is claiming that inflation is coming down to 9%, 8%, single digits, clearly it is not being felt on the grounds. So clearly that shows that this budget is not telling the truth. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the prices of goods on the market, sugar, Mr. Speaker, sugar used to be 480 per bag. Today, as we speak, sugar prices are 540 at the Takoradi market. Mr. Speaker, when you take 1 cup, we used to be 6 cedis. Today is 10 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, Kenke, which used to be 5 cedis, is now 7 cedis. So clearly, Mr. Speaker, it shows that the government of Ghana, the budget presented by Dr. Atto-Forson is just not working. Mr. Speaker, therefore, every Ghanaian should know that the budget they keep presenting to us and by the NDC is not a budget that is solving the problems of this country. Mr. Speaker,
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, is he citing Kempinski hotel prices? Is it Kempinski hotel prices or Makola prices?
I've mentioned these are price.
Honourable Member, continue.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, one other area the Minister of Finance has deliberated on in this House has to do the issue of big push. Mr. Speaker, even before the minister started spending on big push, we were told last year that they've spent over 10 billion on projects that we know have not started. If you look at budget appendix 2C on column, the second column, you see clearly there. For the first part, it said they have spent 6 billion, 6.6, and the second part, 3.2. But we all know in this country that big push have not started. In fact, when they came to Takoradi to even launch, what is it? When they came to Takoradi to launch the big push, no contractor was introduced. The president was the contractor, and at the same time, the person cutting the sword for the project.
Hold on. Honorable Kwame Agojan, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, ordinarily I should let my colleague flow in the debate. But Mr. Speaker, we beg of you, if colleagues make statements, and I'm grateful you gave me the opportunity. My colleague just said that the finance minister has said that we spent 6 billion on big push, and he is aware that big push hasn't started. How can you even make that comment? When you know in this house, Mr. Speaker, we have listed projects that have started, and I've come here to say that some of the big push projects are 30% already into the program. So if you don't know about these things, don't say these things. Don't say these things. Big push projects are on site. Big push projects are on site.
Yes, Honorable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the first two speakers, you were able to manage it very well. Mr. Speaker, yourself, you can see that when you give opportunities on points of order, people are now abusing Order 122. So, Mr. Speaker, with respect, let the debate flow and don't give chances to all these.
Honourable members, if you...
Mr. Speaker, if they have something to say, there is a next speaker. They can hand it over to the person.
Honourable members,
do the correction, and then we move on.
If you watch me carefully, when a member is commenting on the budget and our rules are breached, I know. Don't take it that I don't know when the rules are breached. Honorable Ochre, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for indulging me. My name was mentioned by Honorable Akurugu to the effect that we use the money meant for the fertilizers to go and buy land for ourselves.
Honorable member, you realize that after
Akurugu
has finished speaking, I give the floor to Honorable Amin Adam.
No, I didn't hear my name.
You stood up, but you sat down again.
No, I didn't hear my name.
I did so. The record can bear me out. They can play the voice recording for you.
I didn't. And so, Mr. Speaker,
they can play the voice recording for you.
Mr. Speaker, I think she should provide evidence.
I really mentioned your name.
I didn't hear, Mr. Speaker. And if you indulge me, Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
members, if you can keep quiet and listen to each other,
I said I didn't hear.
I think it will be of a great service to all of us. The record will show that I mentioned your name, but you said you did not hear me.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't hear. And so if you indulge me, I will request
Honorable member, that time has lapsed. Now, Honorable Ochre,
Mr. Speaker,
Daku Mensah is on the floor.
Mr. Speaker,
so if you are up, are you interrupting him? And you can tell me the basis.
That information
kindly resume your seat.
Otherwise, she should provide evidence.
Kindly resume your seat.
She should provide evidence.
Former Minister, kindly resume your seat.
Mr. Speaker,
please resume your seat. The floor is for Daku Mensah. Honorable Daku Mensah, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, it's not a fair ruling.
Mr. Speaker, we all know that Big Push is not a funding source. It's just a program name. And therefore, if you are talking about new projects under the Big Push, there is nowhere in this budget that new projects have started under the Big Push. And therefore, any expenditure under the Big Push are for old Nana Akufo-Addo's projects. And the NDC cannot claim those projects. Mr. Speaker, the budget also make mention of spending over 292 million on sanitary pads. The same NDC, prior to 2005, during the 2024 campaign, made mention that they are going to go into what we call the 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, we've had different versions of the explanations for the 24-hour economy. But we all know that the youth of this country are looking for jobs. That is why they bought into this project. Mr. Speaker, I do believe that spending 292 million on just sanitary pads alone is not good enough. In fact, we should take part of that money to set up factories in every constituency of this country. At least if you are even spending 200,000 Ghana cedis to set up a sanitary pad factory, we can provide sanitary pad factories and employ over 100 people per factory in all the constituency of this country. At least that can be said to be maybe an agenda 276 instead of 24-hour economy, so that the youth of this country can be employed and they can produce these sanitary pads locally and supply the schools that we want to supply. Because with only $20,000, we should be able to set up these factories across the length and breadth of our country. Mr. Speaker, one other area that I've been talked about in this House is that anytime we give an advice, our brothers on this side, I've heard Jirapa, I've heard Honorable Adongo, telling us that we have messed up the economy and we'll under them an economy that has been messed up. But Mr. Speaker, everybody knows in this country that before we took over power in 2017, the economy itself had been messed up. Because if you look at the data for 2016 and the data for 2024, you can see a marked improvement in these data. And therefore, I believe that the Ghanaians should know that those who messed up the economy was not the MPP. We came to fix the problem. Because we are all here when the NDC supervised the biggest banking loot in this country, costing the nation over 30 billion Ghana cedis. At that time, about $6 billion. It took the courage and the energy of the MPP administration to look for money to solve this problem. It was after that that COVID also came to create additional problems. And we're able to solve them to the extent that whilst we took a growth rate under the John Dramani administration, from 3.4%, we're able to move it to 5.7. 5.7. So nobody should be able to say this again in this house, that we messed up the economy. We never messed up the economy. We were faced with challenges and we were able to solve it. Under the NDC, there are no challenges in this country. But even inflation, single digit, they are only doing just about 8. In 2019, with this single digit of 7.9% of inflation. So definitely, the NDC cannot debate with us and tell us that they are doing better under us. And everybody know where they are getting their monies for the dollar depreciation. So please, Mr. Speaker, I do believe that the biggest challenge we have in this country is that the structure of the economy has to be reorganized. Because without productivity, we cannot naturally deal with the issue of depreciation of the cedi in this country. Recently, when the minister came to present the budget, the dollar was just about 10.7. Today, as we speak, we are looking at 11.45 of the dollar. So clearly, the dollar is not stable. Today, check. You can check. Bank of Ghana rates. But we brought it down before we handed it over to you. So, Mr. Speaker, there is no way the NDC can do anything better than what we did under our term. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure everybody that the choices the NDC are now making are not good choices. We need choices that will continue to support the growth of this country. It is very important, very, very, very important, that when we were in power, they insisted there was no need for us to buy helicopters and jets for the government and the army. Today, they've come back. They have to be on principles. We cannot be running this country without principles. If they believe that we didn't need it, why now? Why now? Why do they want to use the taxpayers' money now for those purchases to put the president in executive jets? I believe that it is time they rethink, because the 1.2 billion can be used in fixing the Accra-Kumasi road, where a lot of people have been dying. In fact, we just need a minimum of 3.7 billion to complete the bypasses and get the double road or the dual carriages from Accra to Kumasi. And I believe that when we are able to spend that money better that way, debts on that road will reduce, productivity will increase, and the structure of our economy will change so that we can naturally support our city, we can naturally support the growth and development and the creation of jobs in this country, so that more of our youth, more of our young people will be able to better benefit from the budget that we have developed. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Honourable members, I then proceed to give the floor to Honourable Alfred Nikote. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you once again. I'm privileged to also share on the budget that Honorable Atu-Forson has come to lay before this House. But, Mr. Speaker, it baffles me when I hear our colleagues on the other side churning out figures that we don't know where they are generated from. Because we are in this country, in fact, we were in this country when they churned out figures to the World Bank and gave Ghana conflicting figures. But because truth do not lie, they were caught in flagrante delicto. To say they were caught pants down. Mr. Speaker, it was clear what we all witnessed under the MPP government. It was obvious the economy was so malnourished that my Bukom brother in Bukom will call it a kwashiorkor economy. That is what we inherited, a kwashiorkor economy. Today, we have a government that has put better measures in place, and we are all seeing the signs of the economy improving. Let me get on to the specifics. In the area of health, and Mr. Speaker, if you permit, I would like to refer us to page 183 of this budget statement, page 183. And I want to lay emphasis on health. Mr. Speaker, under health alone, allocations made for 2026 is 22 billion, over 22 billion Ghana cedis, almost 23 billion. These monies hitherto would not have been gotten because under the MPP, they capped all those sectors and create inconveniences for NHIS and what have you. Today, we have uncapped it. And I don't want to go into the details because one of my colleagues have done that already. But Mr. Speaker, these monies will be channeled into the NHIS fund so that we'll have monies to pay claims, unlike what they faced that they couldn't pay. So there will be confidence in the Ghanaian when they take their health insurance card and say they are going to the hospital. Under the MPP, healthcare was so bad that even vaccines for children, what we used to call 6 killer diseases, now more than that. We couldn't even get vaccines to save our children. Today, Mr. Speaker, today, infection and control has been elevated nationally. Infection prevention and control has been elevated, such that all over the country, you see nurses going from one house to the other, vaccinating children. We couldn't see that under MPP. Mr. Speaker, under this government, we have been able to commence the development of the National Cleft Center in Konfanochi to save those who are suffering from that. They were in power for 8 years. They didn't see the need to do that. We have partnered organizations and we are developing that for Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, under emergency response, the National Ambulance Service in just 1 year has trained 500 emergency medical technicians. Under MPP, they couldn't do. 500 in 1 year. Additionally, we were able to train 6,000 youth as first aid responders under the National Ambulance Service. MPP couldn't achieve that. Mr. Speaker, nursing training support. Mr. Speaker, we have been able to make full payment of the nurses' allowances. Something they made noise over. Mr. Speaker, they made so much noise over it that they couldn't achieve that. They couldn't pay. We have been able to achieve that. Now, as we speak, 13,500 nurses have been placed on payroll. Something they couldn't do as well. Mr. Speaker, we are expanding health training institutes all over the country. Institutions that are being developed all over the country. We have given accreditation to several new teaching centers as well. Under the MPP, they couldn't do. Mr. Speaker, it will amaze you that threatened to go on strike. Today, 230 John Mahama. Attendants have been trained.
Honourable Member, your time is up. I'll proceed to give the floor to Honourable Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo. You have 15 minutes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the 2026 budget statement
and economic policy debate. Mr. Speaker, let us be clear. This 2026 budget must be evaluated and analyzed in a context, Mr. Speaker. And the context is the basis on which the current National Democratic Congress Mahama administration came to office. Mr. Speaker, they came to office on two fundamental pillars and commitment to the Ghanaian people. Two. Mr. Speaker, the first is to implement policies, programs, and interventions to reduce cost of living and cost of doing business. Mr. Speaker, the second is to create the hundreds and thousands of jobs for the teeming pointing in the right direction. But it's also important for me to point out, Mr. Speaker, that this is principally as a result of the post-COVID-19 economic recovery plan by the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government. Mr. Speaker, and secondly, also on account of the domestic gold purchase program, which was initiated by the Akufo-Addo administration. Mr. Speaker, indeed, in April 2024, specifically paragraph 232 of the 2024 budget, it was projected that by the end of 2025, inflation will ease to 8%. And inflation has been easing all the way to 8%. Mr. Speaker, this government committed to realizing these two commitments of reducing cost of living, cost of doing business, and ensuring that they reduce unemployment in our country, principally on one major policy commitment they made to the Ghanaian people, particularly the Ghanaian youth, the 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, let me refer this House to Chapter 2 of the NDC Manifesto, specifically paragraph 2.1 on page 22, where they said, Mr. Speaker, and I quote, the 24-hour economic policy, same jobs, 3 shifts, 3 people, the 24-hour economy is a deliberate policy intervention by the incoming NDC administration to stimulate economic growth by creating an enabling environment for businesses and public institutions to operate 24/7 in 3 shifts of 8 hours each, end quote. So, Speaker, in August 2024, at the launch of the NDC manifesto for the 2024 election, then candidate John Dramani Mahama, now President Mahama, Mr. Speaker, had this to say, and he said that the 24-hour economy is going to be coined in a slogan called 133 formula. And the president said, Mr. Speaker, and this is very important, the president said that Ghanaian youth will have this opportunity. One person will start a job, the same job, at 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 8 hours. And from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight, another 8 hours, a second Ghanaian youth will take over. And that from 12 midnight to 8 a.m., another Ghanaian youth will take over, 8 hours. It means for one job, Mr. Speaker, one person will do 8 hours from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., another person will take the same job from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight, and the third person will take the job from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Agenda 133 formula. Mr. Speaker, I want to contend and submit here. Mr. Speaker, that the Ministry of Finance itself today closes at 5 p.m. The Ministry of Finance is running an 8-hour economy. The Ministry of Finance is not running this 133 shift. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy is not being implemented. Instead of that, Mr. Speaker, when our friends came into government, all they have been doing is sacking Ghanaian youth, is sacking young men who have been employed by the previous administration. And Mr. Speaker, this is a reality. You can check it out yourself. Across the length and breadth of our country, in all sectors of our national life, in all sectors of our national economy, thousands of Ghanaian youth, innocent Ghanaian youth, some of them NDC sympathizers, some of them MPP sympathizers, some of them non-aligned, ordinary Ghanaian citizens are being sacked. We are not getting 24-hour economy. We are not getting Agenda 113. We are rather getting, Mr. Speaker, a sacking of Ghanaian youth. That is the lot of our people, our opponents from this side. Mr. Speaker, it's important for us to point out that, as I said, the current state of the Ghanaian economy, Mr. Speaker, the data may look good. The statistics may look good. But the truth is that the Ministry of Finance is not spending. Mr. Speaker, let's take a look at paragraph 123 of the 2026 budget. The budget itself, Mr. Speaker, indicates that for the first 3 quarters of 2025, the Ministry of Finance had projected to spend the sum of 207 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister himself, in reporting to this House, has indicated that they have spent 175.9 billion Ghana cedis, a shortfall of 15%. Mr. Speaker, government spending, let us be clear, government spending anywhere in the world is a catalyst for growth. And when government spends, what they call the trickle-down economic effect. Mr. Speaker, it trickles down to every Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, so when you lock the vote, when you lock the treasury, when you lock the exchequer, when you don't spend, it affects everybody. It affects the nurses. It affects contractors. It affects farmers. It affects each and every person. So and if you want evidence, this is real. I come from a rural constituency of Damango, a farming constituency. Today, Mr. Speaker, on 10th November 2025, Joy News reported, and I quote, "Farmers cry out over unsold rice as 1 million metric tons rot in storage," end quote. Mr. Speaker, we are being told today that 1 million metric tons of rice are packed in warehouses at a value, an estimated value of 15 billion Ghana cedis. Nobody can buy. In my constituency of Damango, Mr. Speaker, maize farmers are having a bad day. Groundnut farmers are having a bad day. It is principally because government is not spending, purchasing power is weakened, credit is unavailable, domestic produce cannot be absorbed, and money circulation is low, liquidity is not in the system. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, when you go out there on the streets of Ghana, the statement on the lips of many Ghanaians is that Finance Minister Atufor's money is just on paper. It's just on paper. Mr. Speaker, he makes allocations. Mr. Speaker, he makes allocations as he did when he appeared before this House. 1 billion for agriculture, 100 billion for that, this billion for that. But when you go and look at the actuals, releases are in many cases 30%. Finance Minister Atufor's money is only on paper. It's not in the pocket of ordinary citizens. Yes. It's not in the pocket of farmers, Mr. Speaker. Yes. It's not in the pocket of teachers. Yes. It's not in the pocket of nurses. Yes. And certainly it's not in the pocket of the unemployed, struggling Ghanaian youth. Yes. Mr. Speaker, so our friends must get it clear. You can have all the data. You can have all the statistics. You can quieten the economy. You can close down economic activity. You will not have real economic growth in the real sectors. Your books will look good. But in the end, you will realize, Mr. Speaker, that on the streets, grassroots economists will tell you that people are really having a hard time. And ministers across here, Mr. Speaker, our friends, our colleagues, ministers, will attest to what I'm saying. No jobs are happening in the ministries because ministers will not get money to do their work. Ministries, departments, and agencies are not receiving any payment to be able to provide goods and services for the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, this government, we want to caution and encourage them to get their priorities right. Mr. Speaker, they should invest in the real sectors. They should invest in agriculture. They should invest in infrastructure. They should invest in the service industry. They should invest in manufacturing. They should invest in areas which will unleash jobs and prosperity for the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, but instead, what are they spending on? Mr. Speaker, what are they spending on? And by that, Mr. Speaker, by that, let me refer, Mr. Speaker, to the monetary policy report of the Bank of Ghana, dated September 2025. Specifically page 21, Mr. Speaker, where the Bank of Ghana, the central bank of our country itself, has said the 3 major threats to the national economy of our country, Mr. Speaker, continue to be, in their own words, increasing energy sector payments, revenue performance, rising compensation cost. The emphasis is mine, Mr. Speaker. I refer to rising compensation cost. Mr. Speaker, we have been promised a lean government, and we've been told that we have a lean government. But you have a lean government that is lean on the arms, lean on the limbs, lean in every part, but very bloated on the stomach. A called lean government. Mr. Speaker, you have a lean government where we have a special envoy for reparations, special envoy to the Caribbean regions, 18 deputy heads of missions. Mr. Speaker, if you want to get the evidence, this is your evidence. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, President Akufo-Addo's government, the distinguished and illustrious president of our country, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Mr. Speaker, his government, Office of the President in 2024, Mr. Speaker, spent 326 million cedis on compensation in paying government workers, paying ministers, deputy ministers, presidential staffers. Mr. Speaker, in 2025, President Mohammed's government, Office of the President, President Mohammed's government has spent a whooping 540 million Ghana cedis on compensation. 50% increment. Mr. Speaker, so why can't we interrogate this? You have one government that is supposed to have a bloated government, another government that is supposed to have a lean government. The government that has a lean government is spent 356 million Ghana cedis on compensation. That is salary, paying salaries to their workers. The bloated government rather spends 547 million, 50% more, which is why, Mr. Speaker, I say that this is a called lean government. It is lean on the legs, it's lean on the limbs. Mr. Speaker, it is bloated with consumption because you are spending a lot. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. In spite of all these problems, the government, Mr. Speaker, in spite of all these problems, the government wants to spend 1.2 billion United States dollars to purchase presidential debts. To purchase presidential debts. 1.2 billion Ghana cedis to purchase presidential debt. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about 1.2 billion United States dollars to purchase presidential debt. When you cannot pay nurses, when you cannot pay teachers, when you cannot buy farm produce, when you cannot recruit workers. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. President Mahama taught us and reminded the country that President Akufo-Addo should take charge. He should not engage in blame game. That is responsible for resolving the problems of this country. President Mahama should take charge. And Mr. Speaker, should take charge, and this minority, this MPP minority,
yes,
this MPP minority, this mighty minority, we are saying, so far, so not well. So
yes,
far, so not
leader.
good. So far, so much unemployment and suffering.
Majority
that
leader.
is what this 2026 budget is offering the Ghanaian people. Suffering and unemployment. I thank you, Mr.
Majority
Speaker.
leader, you have the floor. You have the floor. Yes, Majority Leader. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we agreed from the onset. To allow free flow of debate, and we're all committed to that. But then we caution that we should be accurate in our statistics and our figures. Mr. Speaker, he said that in this budget, 1.6 billion, 1.2 billion, $1.2 billion has been allocated to buy a presidential jet. Mr. Speaker, he should just show us which line item contained in the budget has an allocation or a proposal of $1.2 billion for the purchase of a presidential jet. Mr. Speaker, it is important. These are out of records. Otherwise, you have to expunge this from the records of this House. Because nowhere in this budget is $1.2 billion allocated for the purchase of a presidential jet. $1.2 billion. How much is Air Force One? Air Force One, how much does it cost? How much does Air Force One cost? For us to allocate $1.2 billion for a presidential jet. Mr. Speaker, he should show us. He should show us $1.2 billion United States dollars for a presidential jet. I want to see that.
Yes, honorable member.
Mr.
First,
Speaker,
mention the page so that everybody can be with you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. And Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the Honorable Majority Leader and to answer his inquiry. Mr. Speaker, may I refer the House to page 184 of the budget statement. Mr. Speaker, and at page 184 of the budget statement, you will see retooling of the Air Force. Mr. Speaker, and retooling of the Air Force, you will see CAPEX. Mr. Speaker, CAPEX meaning capital expenditure. Mr. Speaker, capital expenditure. And Mr. Speaker, I referred only to the two presidential jets, which Mr. Speaker, I referred to the two presidential jets, which are. But Mr. Speaker, if you have the budget there, please, if you have the budget with you, you will see. Mr. Speaker, if you have the budget at page 184, you will see at CAPEX that what is actually being budgeted for the retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces is Ghana Air Force, Mr. Speaker, is 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion.
Is it dollars or cedis?
2.5 billion Ghana cedis. Hold on. Mr. Speaker, hold on. Mr. Speaker, hold on. Mr. Speaker, hold on. Mr. Speaker, 2.5 billion to buy two presidential jets. To buy two presidential jets. And Mr. Speaker, you will see again at paragraphs 1087 and 1091 of the budget statement, 1091 of the budget statement, that $1.2 billion is being programmed, Mr. Speaker, to buy two presidential jets, 4 helicopters.
You are calling another paragraph.
No, Mr. Speaker, no, I'm making a point. Mr. Speaker, and the point I made, Mr. Speaker, I'm making a point. The point I sought to make was that if you have this amount of money, teachers have not been paid, nurses have not been paid, farmers' produce are not being bought, market women are complaining about purchases. There are numerous problems in our country. Why will you spend $1.2 billion to buy two presidential jets, 4 helicopters, and 1 ship? That is the point I've made, Mr. Speaker. That's the point.
Honourable members, I think that when the figure is quoted in cedis and you want to quote it from the budget, you have to quote what exactly is in the budget. Ghana cedis is quite different from dollars. Honourable members, because the figure quoted by the former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, he placed on the record dollars. When given the opportunity, he now mentions cities.
Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect, Mr. Speaker, this is a house of record. Mr. Speaker,
yes.
This is a house of record.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, and it's a matter of personal integrity. Let me state my position. Mr. Speaker, I am prepared to be corrected if I'm wrong, but in this case, I'm not wrong. Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, this is a matter of personal integrity. Mr. Speaker,
but in your debate, you quoted dollars.
No, but what the dollars is $1.2 billion to buy 2 presidential jets, 4 helicopters, and 1 ship.
Which page of the budget?
That is the point I'm making. And you will find it at paragraph 1087 and 1091 of the budget. Mr. Speaker, what I refer to in the budget itself, Mr. Speaker, what I refer to in the budget itself is the retooling of Ghana Air Force at the CAPEX column, which is the capital expenditure, which is retooling of Ghana Air Force, which is 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. The 1.2 billion United States dollars is for the purchase of 2 presidential jets,
so
4 helicopters, 1
mention
ship.
which item in the budget.
And in no humility and modesty, I'm a lawyer. I've checked my first out.
Mention the line item in the budget.
And I know what I'm talking about. It's $1.2 billion.
Yes, Honorable Ayarga. Yes, Honorable Ayarga.
This is the page he's talking about. There's no 1.2 billion.
I have it. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
This is a house of records. This is a house of records. And the honorable member who just spoke is a former cabinet minister for lands and natural resources. I need not to lecture him on the value and importance of accuracy. Mr. Speaker, he referred us to page 184. And I have opened page 184 and item 34, Ministry of Defense. Let's go through the items. The third item under Ministry of Defense is retooling of the Air Force. Retooling of the Air Force. And the figure there, CAPEX, is 2,532 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker,
Yes. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I went to primary school in Boku. You may doubt the quality of the schools in Boku, but I cannot imagine which primary school you went, where you were taught that if you convert 2 billion into dollars, you get 1 billion. I don't know which primary school you went to. I went to Boku, a primary school in Boku, and I know that if you use the exchange rate at the Bank of Ghana, what's the figure? 200. You get $260 million. $260 million. How can you say that when you convert 2 billion, you get $1 billion? How can you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis and get $1 billion? What kind of mathematics did you learn in school? Where did you learn mathematics? Which primary school did you attend? How can you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis and get $1.5 billion? In any case, Mr. Speaker, he said the allocation was for a presidential jet. He said a presidential jet. The records will bear us out. The videos are there. You said a presidential jet, $1.2 billion. How much is Air Force One? Air Force One, how much is it? How much is Air Force One? Mr. Speaker, he must withdraw. He must withdraw, and it must be expunged from our records.
Honourable members will get to the root of this matter.
This debate has been plagued with lies, inaccuracies, fabricated figures by the minority in order to bolster their argument. We will not accept it. You must be accurate in this debate. I will oppose you.
Order. Honourable Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo. Now, an issue has been raised about you quoting $1.2 billion. Now, for presidential jet. Now we are debating the budget. You claimed that the figure is emanating from the budget. The question is, take us to the budget item that indicated $1.2 billion for presidential jets. So take us to the line item in the budget. If we do not have it in the line item in the budget, then do the honorable thing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and I should particularly thank you for your indulgence, as this matter borders on my personal integrity. Mr. Speaker, if I got it wrong, I will have no difficulty by withdrawing and apologizing and moving on. But Mr. Speaker, let me crave your indulgence. Mr. Speaker, let me crave your indulgence by indicating to my senior brother, the majority leader, that I also went to Fufuso Primary School in the Savannah region. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader asked me a question. He posed a question to me that where did I attend my basic school? Mr. Speaker, I attended my basic school in Fufuso Preparatory Primary School in the Savannah region. Mr. Speaker, when I was in primary school, I sat on the floor and I was in a modest primary school. I know that the majority leader, having attended school in Boko, proceeded to school in Harvard. And he's had very great height. That is commendable, and I salute him for that. Mr. Speaker, like many Ghanaians, I schooled in modest circumstances. Mr. Speaker, I will please, Mr. Speaker, before I proceed, Mr. Speaker, I know you are a man of fairness and justice. I know that. Mr. Speaker, and I know that you will not allow any member of this House, regardless of his status in this House, to disrespect, to denigrate, to demean myself, and by extension, the thousands and millions of Ghanaians who went to school in deprived communities. And Mr. Speaker, before I proceed to answer your question, and with the greatest of respect, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect to you, may I humbly, very humbly, and kindly plead with my senior brother, the majority leader, the leader of this House, the man who leads all of us, and the man who guides all of us, to please kindly do the needful by withdrawing and apologizing to my modest, humble selves and the thousands of Ghanaians for this insult. Before I proceed.
Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, let's have order. Honourable members, let's listen to each other in silence. Honourable Samuel Abdullah Jinapo, I'm capable of dealing with all issues together. So just answer my question, and in conclusion, you will see what I will do. Honourable members, I have listened to both sides. I know what to do in the circumstances. So let's get the main issue resolved, and I will give consequential orders. Honourable members, I will give consequential orders. So my question is on the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Order! Honourable members.
Mr. Speaker. May I proceed, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, out of respect to you, I will proceed to give the answer. And by giving the answer, Mr. Speaker, I refer the House to page 136 of the budget. Specifically, 136 of the budget. Mr. Speaker, page 136 of the budget. Specifically paragraph, why? Look. Mr. Speaker, specifically paragraphs 1091 and 1092. And I quote, Mr. Speaker, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, this is what the Finance Minister said to this House. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Air Force will be retooled. Beginning 2026, the government of Ghana will begin the procurement processes for the acquisition of 4 modern helicopters, 1 long range and 1 medium range aircrafts. Mr. Speaker, these aircrafts are expected to be delivered in 4 years' time if the procurement processes are completed in 2026. And then, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, why?
And then, Mr. Speaker, I then refer the House to page 184. Page 184 of the budget statement. Mr. Speaker, under item 34 titled Ministry of Defense. Mr. Speaker, where it is captured retooling of the Air Force, where the CAPEX, capital expenditure, is quoted by 2.5 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, if we multiply that by 4 years, which the Finance Minister has indicated in page 136, if we multiply that by 4 years, which the Finance Minister has multiplied in the page 184, Mr. Speaker, every year they will provide for it. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude that the statement I made in my contribution to the debate of the budget is on firm grounds, it's on terra firma. They are beginning this year, and they are going to continue for 4 years. And this year, $2.5 billion have been programmed. If you multiply it by 4, it's $1.2 billion to buy 1 ship, to buy 4 helicopters, and to buy 2 presidential jets. Mr. Speaker, the facts and the data are unimpeachable and unequivocal. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, order.
Mr. Speaker, and now waiting for, we are waiting for the apology. We are waiting for the apology.
Honourable members, order. Order. Honourable members. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Before I begin to name and shame. Honourable members, no one judges a swimmer by the certificate on the shore. You cannot be judged a best swimmer by showing your certificate on the shore. The budget statement is before us. And I can conclusively say that nowhere in the budget statement has a dollar been indicated. Because all relevant pages that are referred to, we can all see that dollar has not been mentioned. Therefore, the submission referring to page 136 of the budget, as well as page 184 of the budget. We all have copies of the budget, and we cannot see any dollar mentioned. Honourable members, paragraph 1091 and paragraph 1092 has been mentioned. Honourable members, if you look at those paragraphs, as a matter of fact, those paragraphs never mention any figure. Honourable members, I will consequentially order that because the honourable member did not refer to a specific page in which the dollar is indicated, everything said by the honourable member in dollar should be expunged completely from the record. Now, Honourable Majority Leader, the honourable member indicated clearly that you have attended basic school somewhere. You don't know which school he has attended. He has taken an offense from it. So, Honourable Majority Leader, you are brothers and you are friends. I will call on you to have that withdrawn, and then we can make progress.
Mr. Speaker, Fufulsu Primary School. Fufulsu Primary School is a very good primary school. I know very, very senior civil servants and academics who are products of Fufulsu Primary School. And I know that you had a good maths teacher in that school. I know you had a good maths teacher in that school. Mr. Speaker, because I know that you had a good maths teacher in that school, that's why I'm surprised that when you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis, when you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis into dollars, you get 1.2 billion. When you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis, you get 1.2 billion dollars. I was surprised because I know the school is very good, and I know you had a good maths teacher. So it is obvious that it is not the school. It is not the school. The school is good. The maths teacher was good. The teachers are good. But how you get $1.2 billion from 2 billion Ghana cedis still baffles me. But Mr. Speaker, if he feels offended,
I, who went to Boku in a primary school, was taught to apologize and withdraw. So I apologize and I withdraw.
Honorable members, we need to make